On March 22nd, the New York Times printed an article claiming that North Korea said if anybody criticizes their nuclear program at the upcoming summit, it will constitute an act of war. This is the actual quote they give in the article. If there is any provocative act such as the issuance of a so-called statement concerning the North's nuclear issue at the Seoul conference, it would constitute an extreme insult. Any provocative act would be considered a declaration of war against us, and its consequences would serve as great obstacles to talks on the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. The incident that they are referring to is the announcement by North Korea that they are going to send a rocket into space in order to launch a satellite into orbit. The US, South Korea, and Japan have all declared this to be a cover for a military missile test. In response to the accusation, North Korea has allowed inspectors into the country to observe the launch and to observe the technology before the launch. All of this is intended to paint the North Korean regime as being aggressive towards its adversaries instead of the other way around. The quote that they have given from the Korean Central News Agency is taken completely out of context. Here is the actual statement from the news organization that was put out on March 21st. In the case the North's nuclear issue is placed on the agenda at the Seoul summit and such provocation as issuing a statement against the DPRK is perpetrated, this will be recorded in history as an intolerable insult to the wishes of the peerlessly great men of Mount Paektu who left the denuclearization of the peninsula as their behests and as another thrice accursed hideous crime. What this means is that it will be taken as an insult, not a threat. I've searched the KCNA articles for the last several days and have not been able to find anything that even comes close to the quote that the New York Times gives. This is the closest thing it gives. And now, several paragraphs later, it says this: any provocation will amount to a declaration of war against the DPRK and result in throwing a stumbling block in the way of discussing the denuclearization of the peninsula. What this means is any declaration or threat of action at the conference to stop North Korea from pursuing its peaceful rocket technology and its launch will be taken as a roadblock to peace for the denuclearization process. Basically, they're saying if you hinder our legal right for space exploration and technological development, it will be taken as a hostile act. What we have here is a deliberate misquote and cutting and pasting of more than one quote in order to demonize the North. This is a very typical action by the Western media and by Western powers to continue to demonize North Korea and paint them as the aggressors when it is in fact the West. The fact is, North Korea has the right to pursue peaceful space technology. The claim that they are trying to do otherwise is laughable coming from the United States, a country that has attempted to weaponize all space technology for the last 50 years. Unfortunately, I can't link you to the actual article because it's not possible to link to individual articles on the KCNA website. However, I can tell you how to get there. Go to the link provided in the description to the KCNA website. Go over here, select the 21st of March, 2012. Then go down to the article, the DPRK will regard any provocation as declaration of war. And that's where you will find the original quote.